Hey, what's going on, Kenshin P? Pastor Greg got my thought for the day. So my thought for the day is this: are you ready to drive it out? So I say, are you ready to drive it out? Because I was reading in the Gospels, in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. It all gives a story about Jesus cleansing the temple. Right. So in John, in chapter 2, in the book of John, it talks about how he drove out the money changers, the ox, and all that stuff that was in the temple. And he said, "You turn my father's house into a house of trade." Right. And then in Matthew, Mark, and Luke, it says when he drove him out, he said, "My house was supposed to be a house of prayer. You turned it into a den of robbers." Right. And the thing that stood out to me was, for me, that was like one of the one times I saw Jesus like angry. Even though in the word it says that in Psalm 69:9 it said, zeal for your house will consume me. Right? So he was consumed with zeal, or he saw that there was an injustice going on. He saw that the intention of what my father intended is not happening. So I have to do something about it. So he drove him out. Right? So when I say, are you ready to drive it out? Because now it's not just the building that's the temple like it was then. We're the temple now, right? But when you see something that's not the way that the Father intended, whether it's internally or if it's in the church body, you see division and things like that happening, are you ready to be consumed with that zeal to drive it out? Are you ready to do something about it? Say our country, for example, one nation under God, right? Are you ready to drive out the social injustice, the discrimination, the hatred, the division? Are you ready to stand up and drive it out so that everybody can be kingdom the way the Lord intended it? Because that's what Jesus was doing. The house was not being used the way the Lord intended it. So he did something to bring that back. So as I look around now, I'm seeing lots of things that's happening that are opposite of what the Lord intended. So are we being consumed with that zeal to do something about it? Like it says in Psalm 69:9, are we being consumed with that zeal to do something about it? Are we willing to drive it out? Are we ready to push like Jesus did? I think in John it says he brandished a whip and drove him out. I'm not saying that you got to go around whipping people, but are you ready to get consumed with that zeal to say, you know what, this isn't right. This isn't kingdom. I need to do something about this. I need to speak on this. Because while a lot of people want to play things politically correct and everything, Jesus wasn't politically correct. Jesus was controversial. So are you ready to drive it out? Social injustice, right? Are you ready to drive out fear and anxiety that's like maybe consuming your brothers and sisters in Christ? Are you ready to stand with them, pray with them, and help drive that out? Division in your community or in your school or in your neighborhood, like, are you ready to drive it out? Are you ready to stand up and drive it out? I need everybody thinking about that. Are we willing to stand up and see everything turn back to what God intended, not what man intended? Be blessed. I love you guys.